Hey everyone, welcome to the Leader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Steele, where we dive into insights and principles that will supercharge your leadership and personal growth, ignited as well. Whether you're a budding entrepreneur, a business leader navigating change, or even a seasoned pro, this show is for you. Every episode is packed with practical strategies designed to elevate your mindset and amplify your leadership impact. So get ready for actionable tips that can help you put you into practice immediately. A huge shout out to all of our amazing listeners. Thank you for your unwavering support. I'm so grateful for it. Let's get started and unlock your true potential. This week, our guest today is a first on the Leader's Edge. She's a psychic medium, healer, and spiritual life coach who founded Quantum Transformation SL, a sanctuary dedicated to rapid personal transformation, healing, and growth. Drawing from her own triumphs over depression, anxiety, and heightened sensitivity to energies, she empowers individuals to overcome life's challenges, rediscover inner strength, tune into intuition, harness your energy, and live authentically with joy and purpose. From a reserved, introverted childhood in Colombia, marked by self-doubt and isolation, she evolved through self-reflection and energetic practices, transforming from a successful career as an exhibiting artist and educator, where she impacted communities through heart-centered knowledge sharing, to her current expertise with over 20 years in healing arts, including certifications in business, energetics, and quantum healing. Today, she leads public speaking engagements, workshops on emotional intelligence, healing circles, private mentorships, creating safe spaces for vulnerability and growth with a gentle, loving, and direct approach enriched by relatable stories. Now residing in Spain with her husband of 16 years, their dog, and 6-year-old son, after 2 decades in the United States, she embraces slow living and has guided hundreds to heal from chronic conditions and fall in love with their lives. Welcome from the green room, the amazing Erika Ristovski. Oh, Erika, you're here.
Hello, Steve. Thank you so much for that introduction. Thank you. Thank you. So excited to be
I have
here.
waited for this day so long since we actually met. I think we met with we met on Sonette's show, I think.
hmm
Didn't we? And that's where we first met. And I contacted you and said, "Ooh, I love what you have to say. I want you to get on the Leader's Edge." And so you're here. I finally got you. I'm
Yes, so
so excited.
excited.
Me too. I'm excited as well. Erica, you have a lot of stuff going on. I mean, I was reading your bio and there's a lot of stuff going on. But what I think I really want to start out is kind of with your story, Erica, because it started out as a small child. Things began to really happen to you
hmm
as a small child. And so let's just get with the audience and kind of let them take your time, relax, and just kind of tell them your story, a little bit of what's going on. And then we have an event that took place in your life I want to talk about as well. So
hmm
if you don't mind, let us know. What is Erika all about?
Erica is all about energies and awareness. But
Yeah.
little Erica was born in Colombia in a city, a beautiful city when I went to that. It's a coast city. And my family was very religious, very Catholic. And I have all of these awarenesses, spiritual awarenesses that I didn't understand, and I didn't receive any guidance or knowings about what it was. So basically, I was contacting angels and ascended masters and other non very supported beings as well. So some of this experience frightened me. Some of this experience I shared with adults, and it brought so much fear to them because I was describing people that later in my life I understood that they were no longer living. But as I describe them, adults will get to understand that it was somebody that they used to know or somebody that was close to the family and passed on. And they were just really confused, like how could I possibly have communication, or how could I possibly see these other beings? So that went through most of my childhood, making people confused. And when I started growing up and becoming more aware, I just went all in because I didn't want to be labeled as weird, as crazy, all of that. I understood that my experiences were not everybody's experiences. So that created in me like shyness like very reserved, very quiet. I will enter a room and I will analyze everything. I will read. I remember in second grade, I told my best friend Alejandra, I was like, I can read people. I got as far as saying that out loud. I was like, I can read people. And my understanding was like, I can read their energetic field and know things about them. But of course, I didn't have the understanding back then or the language, the vocabulary. So it was just like kind of putting pieces together.
What
That
age was this when it really started out, Erica? I mean, you said you started out when you were young, and as a young person, as a child, you really don't understand. Like you said, you don't really understand what is really happening to you. So it
Mhm.
can be very, very confusing. And I'm sure there's probably listeners out there who have some of the same experiences. They just don't know what's going on with them. How young were you when this really all started?
That's a great question. I don't have recollection. I have what my parents have told me, but exactly I remember at 10 years old, and I
Uh huh.
remember particular experiences at 12.
Uh huh.
So from then I started to having very vivid experiences that I recollect still, that I think about and I remember very clearly that at the time were very frightened because I didn't understand. And one of them when I was 12 was I was coming back from school and I will do the usual as always, eat my lunch, take a
Mm-hmm.
little nap, and then
Mm-hmm.
later I will do my homework. So I was taking my little nap, and then got into this dream state that I was not awake, not asleep, but I couldn't control
Very
myself. So
lucid. Yeah, very lucid dream state.
exactly. So I was seeing things, I was experiencing things, I was experiencing my body, but with a different form. And I was doing things in this
Really?
realm, but I like later understood that it was the astral. But at the time, I was so,
Mm-hmm.
so scared that when I got myself out of it, I ran to the person that was helping us with cleaning. That was the only person around. I explained her what happened. And of course, I was had agitated or I didn't look right. And she got really
Yeah.
scared as when she saw me. So she told my parents and all the things. So my father, being very religious, he became very, very concerned that there was something very wrong with me. So he started thinking that there was a possession or something
Oh
around those
no.
lines that I was experiencing.
Oh my goodness. So your dad, out of concern, he didn't know, but he thought maybe there was some kind of possession
Mm-hmm.
within you. How did that make you feel? I mean, did because you had to know there was something different. Did you think it might have been a possession too, as well?
I don't think so. It was now that I have worked with so many people, including kids, including 5 years old, it's just like it's high awareness of multiple realities and dimensions. And I was so open, so
Mhm,
open at the time that I didn't have,
mhm.
I felt like I didn't have control over it. I was just like open to everything, to the good, to the bad, and to the in between. But what happened with that experience, that was I was 12 when that happened.
Yeah.
He didn't leave it just there. He had friends in the church. And at the time I was doing, I believe was the communion and studying, that you have to
Uh-huh.
study
Yeah.
the weekends and you have your books and you have to recite certain things and read certain things. I remember that. And he contacted one of the nuns. She was his friend and she was guiding him through the process. He came home with some paper that had a description of what the Catholic Church does for these cases is a exorcism. And he was saying,
Mm.
I was reading with him, and some of the things did not apply to me, so that you apparently have to meet all of the requirements to the T in order to
Have an
even
exorcism.
qualify for that.
Yeah. My gosh. Ah.
So
Well,
as a kid, imagine if I was already
I
feeling like
can't
I was
imagine.
different, that just confirmed it for me. So that was at 12. And then at 17, I moved to another city. And that was the best thing that happened to me because it was a university city. There was a lot of people converging, and I met a lot of people there. I met one of my best friends who became my best friend was Gnostic. One of my friends from high school, her mother was very involved in the esoteric movement, and she was going to these groups and these meetings. And through her, I went to my first spiritual retreat, which it was amazing because
Mhm.
there I got to meet other people that read minds, that can move up, just like all these things. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And then I heard somebody explain what a medium was. And then it all made complete
Oh
sense
my
to me. I was like,
gosh.
I'm not crazy. I'm not broken. I'm not damaged. I'm just a
Wow.
medium.
Wow. Did you so you knew right away at that point. So let me just kind of go back a little bit. So you're a small child, You knew things were kind of different about you. You're age 12. You have this experience in this dream. Your dad gets a hold of it, says, "Hey, listen, it might be something that could be possessing you." He gets with the church. The church says, "Well, you don't really qualify for an exorcism," kind of thing.
Mhm.
And so you get to be 17 and you find out that all of this is taking place is really something that is really, I don't know quite the words to put to it, but very special about you.
Yeah.
And you thought you then you found out at that point that you were a medium. Now, can
Yes.
you tell us exactly, Erica, what a medium is and what a medium does? Because
Mhm.
some of our listeners may not understand that totally. They might think it, some people might think, I don't know if I really believe that. Or other people might say, yeah, tell me more about it. I really want to know.
Yes. So the teacher in me oversimplifies things. A
Good.
median is just a bridge. It's a
Just a
bridge
bridge.
between realms. So we are in the physical 3D matrix, and where we don't see that our ancestors or the people that we love that passed on and they moved to the invisible world. So basically, mediums can bridge that connection between the non-visible with the flesh, and we connect and we communicate. We get message, we get directions, or we get support, because they're not just the transcended people that passed on, they're also angelical realm. There is also other beings, multidimensional beings that support us too. So it's that connection to that invisible realm that brings support or brings knowledge, information, communication, all of that.
Wow. So it's just a bridge basically from the
Mhm.
physical world to a 4D dimension, which is where the consciousness is, the quantum field
Mhm.
is, that kind of thing. Am I saying that right? Kind
Yeah,
of.
you're saying it completely right.
Yeah,
Hmm?
yeah. So how do you know though, Erica, whether you can make a connection at that point with a particular individual? How, does it just come upon you? How do you know that? How do you feel that? Is there a
That's a great question, Steve. So there are different ways, and I teach my clients and I teach in groups that there are different ways. Like, for example, I am claircognizant, meaning that I just know. And people ask me, "How do you know?" I just know. Like I'm like an oracle. But there is
Mhm,
different ways. You can hear things very clearly. You can sense things, or you can get images in your mind's eye, like
mhm,
clear images or
mhm,
fragments of
mhm,
things, or you smell certain things. Like all of a sudden I know people that feel angelic realm, like that, like flowers and a
yeah.
very soothing loving scent that comes through, and they have a feeling to it, like they has a reaction, like if something happened that they feel excited or elated, or they just start crying, but they're like tears of love, tears of joy. It is that. So there's different ways to find out, because you notice, like, how do you get information? If you try to recall something from your past that happened, how do you recall it? Through
Mhm,
feeling,
mhm,
through images in your head, or through
mhm,
that an emotional attachment to it. So
mhm.
if you start asking yourself in those ways, like, how do I remember things that happened in the past? Like, most likely that's the way that you perceive things, because there's different ways. Some other people at some point in my life too, when I was so invested in spiritism, I got into psychographic writing. So there's many people too that write so many hundreds of books through this connection, through, like, let's say, dead authors, and they still communicate through that bridge, and people just write and write and write. It's not from their consciousness, it's from some other being consciousness.
Wow. So, Erica, when you first started out and you realized at 17 you were a medium and you really started to understand that, did you like, how did you start really talking to people about, about their lives and the some of the things that they wanted to know? I mean, wasn't there a lack of, I guess I want to say, was there a lack of confidence going into it? As I mean, you know what I'm saying? And then you build
Yes.
into that confidence as you talk to more people and as you're able to help more
Yes.
people.
Well, there was not I didn't have that confidence back then when I was 17. Of course, I got in and I never get out. That's when
Right,
I
right,
entered to
right, right,
this
right.
world. But I remember that I was very into, I was like for 15 years, continuously studying Spiritism by Allan Kardec. It's a philosophy. And I was so into it. And I was the youngest person at all times. I did it when I was in Pennsylvania, when I was in California. I was always the youngest person. And people go there when they're going to turmoil, to stress, to difficult things, and they want to find out what I call now the point of inception, like where it originated. Is it from a past life? Is it from
Mhm,
your lineage? Like where's it coming from?
mhm,
Where's all that coming from? So for me, everything has a source. And most of the times it's not visible, it's not tangible. So it's in the quantum. So I didn't have the confidence, and very few people in my life knew what I was doing. And I was doing it for free for very long
oh,
because people will call
imagine.
me. I was doing remote viewings. I was clearing houses. I was clearing people that have some not really nice energies attached to them and supporting them in clearing them. I was doing a lot of things, but very few people, a small circle of people knew that about me. And I was so invested. I would travel to conferences. I will go
Mhm,
places, and
mhm,
I just loved it. But in 2019, that's a catalyst, and several things happened in my life that I made that choice, that I needed to come out of the spiritual closet and share all of my knowing and all of the things that I had
wow,
experienced with others.
wow, that's amazing. Because I would think that you would be in a spot probably where at first you're unsure about, what you were telling people. And I guess by the confidence you would build is that the people were saying, yes, yes, that's exactly what's going on in my life. I mean, that's exactly
Mhm.
what's happened. And you started building confidence with that. That must be a pretty amazing feeling though, when you are able to help an individual, help them unblock something or help them work through something with maybe a past relative or maybe a past situation in their life that they're working with. So that has to be really amazing, and really to figure that piece out. Erika, tell me, we got like 2 minutes before we take a break, but tell me a little bit about, maybe give me an example of what that was like at the very beginning, when you were actually talking to someone and saying, did people make fun of you? Was it like hard to get into that process, or, you know, did,
Yes. Okay. So I didn't have people making fun of me, but there's the people that wants to test you. So
ah,
that happens a lot. Like, let me see how much he knows.
oh, okay. All right. Okay.
So I
How'd
think
that
any
work out
medium
for
can
you? Yeah.
relate to that. Like we get a lot of those, like, let's see how much he knows. And I am not, over time, because we go through stages, and now I'm so certain in my knowing and in my evidences that I don't have to
Yeah.
prove anything.
Oh, yeah.
But I have like laser precision, and people are like, how did you possibly know
Mm,
that? And they tell me with like blank faces, like, nobody knows that. Like, how could you possibly know that? Like, I thought I was going to my grave with that secret, and they just
mm,
get completely shocked.
mm,
And I
mm,
don't do it in a way to be intrusive, but if it's something that is blocking you, because all of that generates constriction in our fascia and our cellular memory, if it's something that you didn't resolve in a harmonious way, is blocking you. So if it's blocking you, the abilities that I have is just gonna come to the surface and I'm gonna see it. It's not that I'm gonna go and see and I'm gonna dig like, what
yeah,
is
yeah,
it
yeah,
there? What do you
yeah.
have that I'm gonna tell
Jake.
you everything?
Wow, that's amazing. It's amazing. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. So we're gonna take a quick break, Eric. Okay, and when we come back, we're gonna kind of get into something that's uh, it's a little hard for me to believe sometimes, and other people to believe as well. But it was something that happened to you, and we're gonna talk about that. So we're gonna take a quick break, and when we return, we'll continue to talk with Erika about her abilities. We'll be right back to the Leader's Edge. Are you ready to elevate your organization with a team of transformational leaders? Do you want to attract and nurture top talent while enhancing communication and productivity across generations? Hi, I'm Steve Steele, co-host of The Leader's Edge, and your coach with the Maxwell Leadership Team. My program equips leaders with essential skills and resources to lead, coach, and communicate effectively, ensuring everyone thrives. With tailored insights and proven strategies, I'm here to help your entire organization succeed. So reach out today at growthinleadership@gmail.com or visit johncmaxwellgroup.com/Steve Steele. Hey everyone, welcome back to The Leader's Edge. I'm Steve Steele, your host, with our special guest today, Erika Ristovski. Erika, that was a wonderful segment. I love talking about your story, about when you were childhood, and a little bit about what you were learning at 17 and how you started to grow into your abilities of being a medium and having that ability to share with people about their lives, because you said they would test you. And I was like, that would be something I would try probably. But Erika, I want to talk about an event that took place in your life that I'm not sure the age that it took place. You might have to help me with that. But it was a situation where we hear about it, but people often believe this is really hard to understand. And so can you share with us a little bit about your abduction?
Yes. So this was, I recall it as the most difficult, most challenging period of my life. And it wasn't even that long ago. It was maybe 5 years ago or so.
Wow.
And I went through like so much emotional charge that I didn't, knowing what I know and having the ability that I have, couldn't understand where it was coming from. It was so heavy, so loaded. And to give you an example, it felt like things that I already know logically that I have resolved, like traumas, disagreements, things like that, they would like forcefully come into my brain, into my thought forms, and it wouldn't leave. So they were like looping in circles in my head, like nonstop, and I was going insane. Not only that, but I was
break that cycle at all. So
yes.
These are just thoughts that are coming into your mind constantly. But you couldn't break the cycle of these thoughts.
I couldn't break the cycle.
Wow.
And it felt the density around me as I was experiencing them. And I would do clearings because I have a lot of experience helping airbounds and entities and all that. And I thought, it's not that, because it wouldn't clear. So I looked for people, like nobody got to the point of it. I looked for all the mediums, for all the healers, like nobody got to the point of it. But it got so intense I started attracting a lot of negativity in my life, like people raging at me, coming at me, so much so that I was like, this is not normal. Like, I know how the quantum operates and how am I producing this reality if I'm not intentionally creating. Like, I was so like, something is going on. So I was like, something is going on and I need to find the answer. So something really interesting happened. I had a client back then that she showed up and she was going through a lot of things. And she told me that she thought it was entity involvement. I said, okay, cool. I can help you with that because I have helped so many people. But it wasn't that. Really? So what I saw when she laid on a table, I used to have an office space and she laid on the table. And I started mediumistically to see things that I couldn't understand. And I asked my support team, I was like, what am I seeing? What is happening? So basically I started seeing with my medium ability, kind of like devices around her body that look like electronic or robotic spiders, like about this size.
Is that right? Wow.
In her body. And as I was laying my hands, as I was finding them, there were several, she was constricting and she was moving as I was like in discomfort. And then I rarely do this, but I stopped her and I asked her, like, okay, are you okay? And she was feeling the feels. She was feeling pain where I was finding them. And then I was like, oh, do I tell her? Do I not? And I felt guided to tell her what I saw. I'm very transparent with my clients. I don't,
now, she's not under hypnosis or anything. She's not under hypnosis or anything, is she?
No.
She was not. She's totally awake.
I do hypnosis, but she was not. She was just receiving healing transmission.
Okay.
So I was like, whoa, what's this? And then I told her what I experienced. And then what I got from my team was that it was negative alien implant. And I was like, what? I never seen such a thing. And she was not shocked. She knew, but she didn't want to share it before coming in. She was just like, let's see what she finds. kind of thing, the testing part. And uh, and then I saw through her that she was in another timeline in a lab, kind of like working with like humans and making humanoids in some sort of like lab environment, and some really thing that it was new to me. It was completely new to me. I never experienced these kind of things before, and I was so confused. She kept coming back because she said that she felt better and she was improving. So she
Okay.
kept coming back, and I saw her for a while. So through her, I got to understand many things that were completely new to me. So one day,
Right before we get to you, I want to make sure our audience understands where we're at. So you have this particular client. She's laying on a table. You are working with her, and you saw in your mind or in your devices that were on her body
yes,
some time, and then when you touch those spaces, she would react to that.
yes,
Right?
yes.
That is amazing to me. That
Mhm.
is amazing to me. Wow.
Yeah, so I was super shocked. I didn't have much information. So I went and searched a little bit. I trust my
Yeah.
channel. So I was more asking questions to like understand it without, the kind of like the filter of the
Uh-huh.
internet and all of that.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So I was getting some information and some conclusions, and I started having my own awarenesses as well that things were in my energy field that were not supposed to be there. So I shared with my group of other healers and practitioners. I was like, this is happening to me. I need somebody that has experience with this, because at the time I didn't have any alien experience, none of that. That was news to me. And different people direct me to the same person. So I was like, okay, let's do it. So I showed up. So some medium and a hypnotherapist. I showed up. I lay out my situation, like I'm experiencing all this craziness and looping negativity that I don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Can you please help me? And she said, sure. She induced me like in no time. And I was so shocked with what I saw and experienced, that I was on this apparently like a UFO device inside, and I was not able to move my body, and they were doing some things to my body that didn't feel nice, because I was crying and I was in pain, and it
Mm-hmm.
was really hard for me. And I left crying. I was not expecting it. I couldn't digest it. I couldn't process it. It was nothing that I ever like, oh, I want to be one of those people held to the no. I was like, this
Yeah.
is too much. And emotionally, I was distraught. I couldn't even drive home. I was crying as I was driving home. I shared with my husband because he knows me. He always known this about me. And I was like, this happened. This is what she said. And I don't know what to make out of this. And I was crying myself to sleep. I was crying because I felt pain in a part of my body, on my head and on my chest. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where she said that I had the implants as well, that I was having negative alien implants in my body. They use them for tracking, they use them for many, or controlling as well. And then I went to
Gracious.
that space of feeling like a victim, like, why me?
Yeah.
And I
Yep.
asked,
Yep.
why
Yep.
me? Why me? And the split share explanation was that some people, depending on their mission in life, they can get target, or they can try to be destroyed so that they don't get to fulfill their mission in a way. So I think that was kind of like my situation. And so she supported me. I went several times for sessions for clearing it, and for kind of destroying the I don't know, like the emissions of
Mm-hmm.
those implants,
Mm-hmm.
because they were quite painful. I have gone before many episodes in my life that I have to go and check my heart, because it was really weird, making unusual movements and whatnot. And the EKG said that I have a heart attack, but I don't recall
What?
having a heart attack, and all these other devices. And I was like, weird movements, yes, they confirmed, but like my heart's still working. So no explanation for that. So I did have those weird episodes in my life with my heart. And I was like, okay, if this happens to be true, then that will kind of make sense why my heart is kind of weird. And it was just 5 months I took off of my life to heal, because
Oh
I
my
was pretty
goodness.
distraught from
I
this
can
and from the
imagine.
information and from the what I was experiencing. It was a lot of density. I knew what they were coming. One morning I was kind of half awake, half asleep, and I know that state very much. And a portal opened in my bedroom, kind of like hovering over me. And I
Uh-huh.
knew that it was them because I can feel their frequency. And it was just so intense that I was like, I don't want to work with clients. I don't want to do things. And some people, I told them what I was experiencing because I kind of went MIA, but I needed really that time to digest, understand, and strengthen myself so that I can gather tools and understanding primarily because I didn't understand it. And now I do. And
Erica,
the most interesting
what?
part is that I now get to help others with that.
Yeah, what did they want from you? I mean, what did you ever figure out what they? I mean, this is crazy for me because I'm like, you know, I've known other people who've had this kind of situation happen to them in their life, and it's a very scary thing for them, and they don't know how to explain it, and they're like they said, a lot of people are in tears about it, and their life is just messed up because of it. And
Mhm.
what is it that they wanted from you? What was
So
the
they want from
purpose?
people. To my
Yeah.
awareness, there's 6 different types of adoption
Uh-huh.
species,
Hmm.
and they do it for different reasons. And some reasons are tracking, some reasons are gathering information through people, some are more malicious. They really don't respect sovereignty at all. And they just use us as batteries, pretty much, because our emotions, if you can measure them, we can measure emotions by hers. So when we go low vibration, we emit this signal. Apparently, this feeds them. It's kind of like food for them in a way. It's hard to
That
think in that way, but
wow.
they use a lot of people for that, and they are behind a lot of things that we know. And
I
so that
imagine.
took me down a rabbit hole of understanding us in all the sense and in the government and behind the things that we will never suspect, but they're
Hmm.
pretty prevalent in this planet, and they're been here for a very long time, and they target people like me, people that are very sensitive, people that have a lot to say and share so that we don't get to do what we want to do.
Well, I would think that that would be why you would target it because of your sensibilities and
Mhm.
how you know how much of a medium that you really are and how you are able to really tap into that. And
Mhm.
I would think that's why you'd be targeted. But let me ask the question: when you were going through that, were you under hypnosis at that time when you were being you?
Yes.
Okay, so did you see faces? Did you see what they
Yes.
looked like?
Mhm.
Is that right? Wow, wow. Is there, yeah, was there genders? Was there males, females, that kind of thing, or was it just one? One gender?
I wouldn't think of them as having a gender at
Uh huh.
all.
Uh-huh.
Their energy feels very like got a business to do, like very kind of like military. If you think like
Oh, okay.
military
Yeah,
men,
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like got a
yeah.
business to do, got it, get it done, no feelings, no like super poker face.
Mm-mm.
That's exactly how they
Wow,
are.
wow. That is crazy amazing to me because it's like people often think, is that stuff really real? But you can't help but think if so many people have been through that, something. Where are they at? Where are they living? Where are they? Are they just out in the universe? Are they in the field? Where are they at,
They are
Erica?
in the field.
Okay.
If we think of reality like that, we are sharing reality with multiple things at the
Uh huh.
same time. Like if
Uh
you
huh.
think of a fabric that is all interwoven, if you look really closely through a microscope, you can able to see all the fibers
Yeah.
kind of like coming together. So that's what
Yes.
is a reality. Like we are all kind of merging together,
Hmm.
right? But if we tune in like radio signals, we can see multiple layers of things coexisting.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say at the same level, but kind of like in the similar space.
Do they, when that happens to an individual, Erica, do they come into the 3D or do we move into a more 4D quantum area where that all takes place? Does
It
that
can
make
happen
sense?
both ways, yes,
Okay,
but
really, really.
mostly we go on their other
Oh,
dimension,
uh-huh.
so that, and also we don't have recollection, we don't have remembrance, because
Exactly.
yes, when this whole thing developed for me, I was like became aware that it started happening when I was 5 years old.
Oh my goodness.
So they did that many, many times. And of course, I don't
You
have
can't remember.
recollection. That's
No.
why I don't have recollection of a lot of the things that I experienced as a kid. And
Yeah.
yeah.
So, okay. You find out about this. It's time to move on. You got to get your life back. You got to get back. What did you do?
Oh my gosh, I did everything like self-care. I started learning practices so that how do you help somebody going through this? How could I help myself moving forward? So I got it
Mhm.
really invested like, okay, this happens, so now what? I always have that mentality that this happens, so now what? I don't kind of stay there. That's my approach. And it really opened up a whole new world because using my abilities to tap into people's fields, I have been able to help so many people after I spoke openly about this. I have all clients that have come and their kids experiencing things, their teenagers too. And once I tap into their field, like I can see that they're also being targeted or they're being manipulated or they're being interfered with. So having that experience myself, knowing what it's like, being on the other side and having tools to help other people overcome this, become aware and give them understanding is everything because it changes their life. They feel completely different. They understand things in a bigger picture, our human experience as well. So it's
Well,
been very rewarding having
yeah.
the courage to talk about
Oh,
this and even be perceived as crazy.
yeah. I mean, I appreciate you being so open. I appreciate you being so having the courage to really talk about it because I think it's something that needs to be talked about. Erica, did you find out through all of the people that you've helped and even in your own life, is there any common themes that these alien abductions take place? Is there any common themes that people are experiencing the same kind of thing? And what are they wanting to know?
What are they wanting to know? They want to understand us because many of them don't have the emotional range that we do, like the
Mhm,
sadness, the sorrow,
mhm,
the depression, all of these things.
mhm.
Many of them are just studying us, which doesn't cause harm. That when it causes harm is when they are kind of changing our software and manipulating us to do
Mhm,
something that we're not intending to do. And
mhm.
that happens too.
And that happens. Is that a common theme with most people that you talk about?
I wouldn't say it's very common. As I say, it's a wide range of situations. But I think now that we are changing paradigms, people are becoming more aware. I
Mhm,
have come across more people remembering their adoption and remembering things that feel limited and they cannot understand why they feel a certain way, why they cannot express joy, why they cannot be happy, why they feel like held back by something external. And I will say it was just listen to that feeling because in my awareness and in my experience, it's possible. Something external is holding you back.
absolutely. Do you has there been some have they hurt people? Have they actually hurt people before?
Yes.
Have they? I was afraid of that. Yeah.
Mhm.
So and so those things are kind of difficult to work through for
They
people.
are
I'm sure.
very
Have
difficult.
yeah. So are you able to help these people as well that have been hurt by them? And
Yes.
that's
Hmm.
awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad.
Hmm.
Well, this is an amazing subject. I mean, it's different for the leader's edge because it's not something we've ever talked about on the show before. But I love opening this up because I think that there are so many things out there that we don't understand, that why we're feeling the way we feel sometimes, and we don't understand, and we need someone to help us because there's people out there that struggle with this. I'm sure of it. I am sure of it that people struggle about it. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. They don't know how to explain it. They don't know why they're feeling the way because they can't remember the way they feel the way they did. It's just really, really
Hmm.
difficult. And I'm so thankful that you had the self-awareness to move forward on that. And now you're able to help people with it. That is amazing. Well, we're going to take another quick break, Erica. And as soon as we come back from the next break, I want to talk a little about your business and what you're doing and how you're helping people today. And well, actually, what you guys talk about, what you do. I just want to know what's it like daily life in Erica's life on a daily basis. So we'll talk about that when we get back to Leader's Edge. We'll be right back. Are you ready to elevate your organization with a team of transformational leaders? Do you want to attract and nurture top talent while enhancing communication and productivity across generations? Hi, I'm Steve Steele, co-host of The Leader's Edge, and your coach with the Maxwell Leadership Team. My program equips leaders with essential skills and resources to lead, coach, and communicate effectively, ensuring everyone thrives. With tailored insights and proven strategies, I'm here to help your entire organization succeed. So reach out today at growthinleadership@gmail.com or visit johncmaxwellgroup.com/Steve Steele. Hey everyone, welcome back to The Leader's Edge. I'm Steve Steele, your host, with our special guest today, Erika Ristovski. Erika, I just want to say thank you, because I know that takes a lot of courage to share that story, because the fact that so many people probably don't believe you. And it takes an amazing person to really have the self-awareness to come forward and share a story, because you can't really grow from it if you hide from it. You have to open it up, right? And there has to be that growth there, that personal growth that takes place. And I'm sure, I guess one last question about that, Erika, how did your personal growth change once you figured out this had taken place? How did you grow? How things begin to happen for you?
Oh my gosh, I love that question because I told somebody else in an interview before, it was like, like those amazing TVs when you go to the store that you see like high definition and it's all
Yes,
clear and
yes,
so
yes,
vivid and it's like
yes.
bigger than you.
Yeah.
That's how I experience
Oh,
life
wow.
now because
Oh, wow.
I thought I knew a little before. I was like,
Yeah.
I know a little. I know nothing. I know nothing.
Oh,
And there is so
wow.
much more for us to discover and just open out a whole new world. I used to have like conclusions. Now I just have curiosity. I
Oh, I
don't
love that.
conclude. I'm more open to possibilities than ever. I have more joy because I'm like, this is what they want to take away from us. So the more that we love ourselves and the more that we enjoy our lives, that's how we together as a collective can defeat these dark agendas in the world. So yes, it changed my life in the best way because I know more, I
Wow.
understand more,
Yeah.
and I made it my mission to support the collective to do the same, to question
Yeah.
everything, to be in the driver's seat of your life, to take ownership of your experience and completely transform your life for the better. So yes, it did
That,
change for the better.
yeah. When you're vibrating at a high vibrational rate of curiosity and joy and calmness and peace, life changes for you.
Yes.
It just really does. It allows you so much more openness in your life, and you really don't care, because operating in that real primal state of stress, anxiety, overwhelm is just not a way to live. And that's what healers do. They help people move from that to a more joyful life, but understanding a little bit about what they're about, what they've been through and what they've
Hmm.
overcome, what they need to overcome in life, right?
Hmm.
So, Erika, I want you to tell us a little bit about uh, quantum transformation. Tell us a little bit about that, what your company's about, what you do, and how you help people, and maybe some examples of what's going on. I mean, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, so Quantum Transformation is a company I founded once I moved here into Spain. And as I see everything through frequencies, when I created it, it was like it's this new, brand new energy of quick, rapid transformation. And it is because before I was doing healing with angels and supporting people to overcome chronic diseases
Mm-hmm.
and all of this. But this is more like we get it done, we get it moving, we get aware, and then we just
Ooh, I
rock
love
it.
that. I love
And I
that.
love it because what it is, and I will tell you like some examples like how this works. Like people come to me for various reasons, but the most common denominator is like they have everything. They check all the boxes like I
Okay.
used to. Like I have I am known, I'm doing art, and everything great, I have the house, but the car, the blah blah blah. But it's still something that feels empty inside. So that's the
Mhm.
common denominator. People that check all the boxes, but
Mm.
they still feel disconnected, empty inside. They feel the pressure of, I'm supposed to feel happy, but I secretly feel depressed.
Can I ask a question about that? When you talk to those people and they have that piece that's missing, do you typically find that in more of a spiritual context that they're missing rather than a physical or
It
perhaps a
is.
mental. Is
It
that
is.
right?
It
Tell
is
me about that.
100%.
Tell me
And
about
that
that.
disconnect is because we have built everything from here and
Oh,
we have not connected to our heart.
I love that.
We don't know ourselves at that stage. We don't know what we want. We don't know what is even possible for us. So when we bridge this from here, from the brain to the heart, and starting to connect to that inner compass that we all have within. Everybody, not a single person is left out. Everybody's building with that inner compass, that divine guidance, that connection to the all
Mhm.
that is, to source, to the divine. We are divine
Yes,
beings.
absolutely.
So connecting to that, there's ways that I teach people. I have clients was like, I would never do that. Like I taught her how to communicate with her body and how to get answers with her body. And the quick explanation that I gave her was like, our heart has an energetic field around it, and it
Yeah,
also operates as a brain. There are scientific studies that
that's
say that
right.
before you're shown images with the closed eyes, your energy field of the heart reacts to it, either with anxiety or either with excitement, according to what the image is. So we can access this field of information around us with this energy from the heart, from the openness. But also that is a journey in itself. So I support people to get there, to really unlock and unpack everything that is blocking them from living in alignment with the true essence, with the true self. So it's unpacking, yes, many times it's unpacking the trauma, the things that happened in the past. Sometimes it's things that transcended in other timelines, whatever limitation, whatever beliefs. So I'm also about uh, transforming that, and okay, let's change that. So we need to reprogram now. So what new beliefs are you going to install now that you know that this doesn't serve? So what new beliefs need to be installed, and helping people become aware of what they really want. I am very big advocate, and I say this a lot, make an inventory of your life. So know what is working and know what is not, or know what is less than ideal and what do you really want to change. Because I used to be that too at some point in my life, that I was like a tumbleweed. I was not really present and owning my life experience. I was like, this happened, and then I do this. And then this
Mhm,
happened, and then I do that.
mhm.
And I wasn't really um, consciously creating the life that I desire to create. So I support people to do that inventory, that being in the driver's seat. What do they want to build? What do they want to construct? And of course, I use my skills as to, okay, what happened where? I call it the point of intersection, like what we can extract from there, or what is in your field that is you maybe some entanglements of people with the past, something that was not resolved, like what is happening, what is in, and then I help them energetically in that sense. And through the combination of coaching, energetic processes, and journeying together, that is that is the light of my life, because the community that I have and the messages that I get on the daily of people changing their lives, not only
Mhm,
that, but the ripple effect. Because when
mhm.
somebody changes, they want to change the people around them, and they do, because people are like, what happened to you? What pill are you taking? I had a client tell me that one day. Her coworkers asked her, what pill are you taking? She's like, I'm taking Erika's pill.
I
And
love
is
that.
that joy, because it's not fake. And we see a lot of things out there like pretend to be like, this is a frequency. You cannot, energy doesn't lie. So you
That's
cannot
right.
fake it.
That's right. And I mean, then that's where, I'm a man of faith, and I truly believe in God, and I truly believe in what He has does for me in my life. And I know that I found out, Erica, and I know that you can attest to this. A lot of time in the scientific world, especially in the quantum theories and a lot of those line up with strong ancient biblical principles that happened
Hmm.
years and years ago. And
Hmm.
even the greatest metaphysicist that ever lived was Christ Himself. And
Yes.
and we I love the fact that we can take those two different things and combine them because they're so real. Because I can look at what you're saying and understand what my history is, and my past as far as my biblical studies, and see, wow, we were back then they were spot on with where they are
Hmm.
today, and then nothing has changed. It's the same. And the
Hmm.
thing is that we just have better knowledge about it. And I just
Mhm.
absolutely love, love, love that. Do you, when you're working with clients, Erica, do you have clients that are like really stuck and you have to move them, help them move out of where they're at to where they want to be? And how typically long does that take an individual? Because there may be some people say, "Oh, I have to go to this kind." If I was going to coach with Erica, it might take me 7 or 8 months or a year. How long does that typically take?
It takes as long as you want.
Ah, I
I
love
had a
that.
person some recently that we did some energetic process. It was about 3 minutes, and she was like, "Oh, okay. So, oh wow, I feel different. So it is over." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's over. It's gone." And she's like, "Well, wait a minute. I lived with that for decades. Like, how is that possible?" And I was like, "Yes, it is possible if you choose it to be possible. If you want it back, you can have it back." And another client, this was
Huh?
years ago, she was a lot in her mind. She worked in a big, big, big important company. And we were 2 months in out of a 3 month container. And she said, and she's a person that this is what sticks with you because she's a person that doesn't tell you much like, oh, this is amazing. None of that. She's like very serious, very, reserved. And one day she's like, Erica, with you, I've been 2 months and all the changes in my life that I cannot even comprehend. And I was in talk therapy for 10 years
Oh, wow.
and nothing happened. And with you, it's
Wow.
like 2 months and like all these changes and all
Yes.
this. And I was like, yeah,
Mhm.
because people get so fixated that it needs to take a long time to
Yeah.
overcome like decades, to undo decades and
Mhm.
decades of less quoted
Mhm.
damage. But it doesn't. It's a personal choice. If you decide it takes 3 minutes, it takes three
I
minutes.
love that.
If you decide it take a day, it takes a day. But you really make that choice. And my approach is I don't force anything, and all my clients know that. I don't force energy out. I don't
Yeah,
force things that you are not ready to release, to let go
absolutely.
of. It is all we're co-creating. This is one of my
Yeah,
first things. Like we're
yeah,
co-creating. I'm not doing anything for you that you don't
yeah.
want me to do. That is intrusive. And
Mhm.
respecting your sovereignty and your boundaries. So together we're creating this. And if they're ready, yes, it happens beautifully. I'm gonna walk with you. I'm gonna hold your hand, and we're gonna get to
I
incredible
love it.
places. But if you're not ready, if you're like, and then I'm gonna say, you know what? And I said, I already had maybe 3 times already that I said to people, no, I don't think we are a good fit for each other. And
Mhm,
I wish you the highest and best. And I
mhm.
really do because through my years of experience, I also honor my energy. My clients know that I get very invested. I want the highest and best for
Mm,
everyone. And
mm.
it also requires a lot of my energy, right? Like walking
Sure,
those processes,
sure.
energy work too. And it's like, I don't want to work with people that are not ready for this and that are not
Exactly.
invested and they're not choosing themselves.
Erica, you are such a beautiful soul. I just
Um,
absolutely love you so much. Tell us a little bit, how can people get a hold of you? If someone wants to coach with you or wants to really go into some sessions with you, how can they get a hold of you?
They can easily find me on my website, and it's Erika with K Ristovski, Ristovski.com. And I also offer free sessions. So if you're undecisive or just
Oh,
want to learn more about how I do it, you can also, if you feel like you're ready, I have an intensive clarity session. It is usually an hour. It's online, and bring any problem, and we'll
oh,
laser
wow.
focus and help you move out of it.
I love, love, love that. You are such a beautiful soul. Thank you so much for that,
Thank you
Erica.
so much.
It's
You are as
beautiful.
well.
Thank you for being on the Leader's Edge today. Next week on the Leader's Edge, meet Joel Putoff as we explore the fusion of modern science and ancient wisdom. Join us for a thought provoking discussion on personal growth, spirituality, and the innovative platform called Linksy, transforming community connections. Don't miss next week. And just as a reminder, you can find The Leader's Edge on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. If you find value in these conversations, don't forget, hit the subscribe or follow to stay connected. I want to say thank you to all of our listeners and friends because without you, The Leader's Edge wouldn't be possible. I'm so grateful to have you here today and so excited to connect with you next time. So take care, everyone. Bye bye.